Next, from the state capitol, Springfield Mayor Tim Davlin discusses the legislature's unfunded mandates on municipal pension systems. Mayor Davlin says the legislature's demands that cities expand pension benefits for firemen and policemen is undermining city budgets across Illinois. This runs about 40 minutes.
Thanks, everybody, for being here today. Before I get into the real announcement here, with a new committee that is being formed, I think we need to lay a little bit of the groundwork for why we're even here. Over the past several years, we as municipalities have received a number of unfunded state mandates, is the best way to put it, that increase our police and firefighters' pensions. It's that simple. I want to start off by saying we are not here to take one single, any type of benefit away from a policeman or fireman. That is absolutely not the intention of us standing here today. It's not our intention to do anything in the future. But what it is, our intention is to decide how we want to address these unfunded state mandates that, I can at least speak from the city of Springfield, has cost us literally millions and millions of dollars and now has put us about $123 million in debt with unfunded liabilities to our police and fire pension fund. But I have to say that we're not alone. There are 343 downstate police funds and 278 downstate firefighters pension funds that are exactly the same problem that we're facing today. A few less firefighters because of some consolidation of firefighters in their fire protection districts. But we're all facing the same problem, and that is that our unfunded liability continues to grow and grow and grow. Just from 99 to 2004, it doubled, and from 2004 till now, it's just grown astronomically. We have done a number of things, at least to analyze exactly where we are today, a lot with the help of the Illinois Municipal League. Some of the information is out there today that the reports I think a lot of you have seen, but really show the depth of the problem that we have municipality-wise throughout the entire state of Illinois. I'm here today to address what we plan on doing in the city of Springfield. For one, I think it's important to note that at the last city council meeting, we passed a resolution that basically just asks the legislature to stop. We need to stop the unfunded mandates. Just so everyone understands exactly what we're talking about, I'll make it perfectly clear. The state legislature tells us as a municipality how we are to give away the benefits of police and firemen in the form of their pension. Inevitably, the way that that's paid for by state statute is by property taxes. So in turn, the state legislature tells us what we need to pass on to the taxpayers of our municipalities to make sure that there is proper funding. Unfortunately, that hasn't been happening, and unfortunately, for a long time, that our unfunded liability continues to grow, and now it's really at a dollar amount that is going to put a lot of municipalities into financial ruin. Having faced that, I have to say that we're taking a page out of what's happening in the city of Chicago, and Mayor Daley decided to form a committee that would take a look at exactly that problem. And that is, what do we do with these unfunded state mandates, and how do we get ourselves out of the financial burden that's facing us today? I have asked Tim Bramlett, who is standing back here to my left, to chair this committee. Tim, as part of his resume, is in the press release, but most importantly is, number one, he was the president of the Illinois Taxpayer Federation for about 12 years, but also has served on committees and has chaired committees similar to this, going all the way back to the Edgar administration to take a look at property tax reform, and has been in a similar situation where he needs to take a look at an overall picture and come up with recommendations of what we might do in the future. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this on a local basis as far as how it affects the city of Springfield. We're going to arm them with plenty of ammunition, including reports by the Commission on Governmental Forecasting and Accountability, which talk about the legislation that has just been passed in the last few years by the legislature that shows precisely to the dollar amount of how it's affected the city of Springfield and ultimately those that pay property taxes in the city. My mantra has always been, don't shoot the messenger, because we're not the ones that are raising your property taxes. We don't have the control of those property taxes. The state legislature does in their form of unfunded state mandates. Again, nothing to take away from the police and the firemen, but if you're going to give them the increase of benefits, give us the funding to take care of those benefits in the future. When I first had come up with trying to form our own committee, one of the people that I had asked to help also was Gary Plummer, who is the president of our Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce. And Gary quickly added that he didn't want to ask someone from the chamber to serve on. He'd like to serve on that himself. But we had quite a bit of discussion, and based upon Gary's request, and also with some things that are going on with our Q5 group here in Springfield, Gary asked that we take a look at this twofold, to not only take a look at the unfunded liability that we have in our police and fire pension fund, but also where we, as a city of Springfield, receive our sources of revenue. And we've decided to do that. And so with Tim at the helm of this committee, it's really going to be broken down into two different areas. One is to take a look exactly what our liability is and come up with recommendations as a solution to the police and fire pension fund. And the other half is also to take a look at our revenue sources. How do we compare to others? What are other communities doing to combat the same problem that we have? And again, 343 downstate police funds and 278 downstate fire pension funds. We know that this is only part of what we need to do. We also need to propose legislation itself to try and ease some of the burden that's here. Illinois Municipal League has put countless thousands and thousands of hours into this problem as it reflects on all the different municipalities. And they've basically come up with 9 points of legislation. It's very detailed, and I'm going to tell you this, that it's very easy to find, and it'll take a little while to download, but you'll be hearing more about it within the next probably week. But you can find it on the Illinois Municipal League's website, where they've now devoted an entire area of their website just to the pension problem. And I think even the common person can go to it. We spend a little bit of time, we'll see exactly where we've come from in the past, where we hope to be going in the future, and also take a look at the proposed legislation that we hope to see come forward probably within the next week to 2 weeks.